All right, I'm gonna call it a night here. This is a pretty quiet street after hours, so I'll give you a quick shot out the front and the side here. Turn this light off. This is just a closed business here, off to the right. So I'm gonna be sure to pull out of here before these businesses open, bright and early. And I'll just go back and find a public parking lot when I move on from here in the morning, make some coffee, get my day going, and we'll bring you guys along. See you in the morning. All right, I'm waking up here this morning. It's about 5:30 a.m. I'm gonna get ready to move on here pretty quick. I'm parked in front of some businesses. One of them is a small gym, and it's open already. I think it opened at 5. So a couple cars have pulled up. So I'm gonna try to just sneak into the front seat through my pass-through here, start up the van and move on. There's a little public parking lot with a restroom, so I'm gonna head right over there and then get my day going from there. The sun's really not up yet, so it's not totally light, but we're gonna move on. Okay, it is time to boogie on. That overnight spot worked out okay. I didn't get the most sleep. I do recall in my city dwelling days taking a lot of naps in the afternoons, just never really getting a fully good night's sleep, and that did start to wear on me. And today might be one of those days where I need to take a nap. Feel like I was just getting into a good sleep there. Well, it's time to move on. Probably could use this street back here as well. No signs, could have been sleeping still. I never really had any issues with police or anything like that knocking on my door. The majority of the time it was just people late at night, drunk, coming from bars or stuff like that, walking by my van, kicking it, punching it, peeing next to it. So that was the type of stuff I was dealing with the most. So I'm just a short distance from a public parking lot with a restroom, so I'm gonna go use that. We'll check in here in a minute. Okay, we're coming into this big parking lot here. This has a boat ramp, and there are a bunch of bathrooms here. There's actually some outdoor showers that I've used before. They're cold, but usable. It's actually right next to SeaWorld Park. I'm gonna dip in here, use the restrooms, probably make a cup of coffee, because I am pretty darn groggy right now. Feeling it. The trick for me with the city dwelling and the van was to just move around as much as I could, not reuse a lot of the same spots night after night, that type of thing. Some of these parking lots that do not allow overnight parking, you can get away with it a night or two, but if you do it enough, you're eventually going to get a ticket. I did find that spending enough time here, you kind of get to talking to people, and you can kind of get some inside scoop about what lots people have been getting away with parking in that. But overall, you're always just kind of pushing it, and for me, that would make for not a good night's sleep, being on edge. So I found just the public streets where you are allowed to park a vehicle overnight were the safest bet for me. I'm gonna go use this bathroom. Well, those restrooms were not the cleanest. It's kind of hit and miss around here. Bring your own toilet paper for sure. This is all boat trailer parking spaces, so I'm gonna go over here to the regular parking spots so I don't have any issues. And make a cup of coffee. I'm tempted to just lay right back down. This parking lot allows parking after 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. I believe. There's a van and an RV here. I always wonder if they stayed overnight or if they're just showing up early like I am. Looks like a good spot. Oh geez, I can definitely tell that I slept in my van on the side of a city street last night. Probably only got a few hours in total, but better than nothing. It definitely is better than nothing. I felt safe and secure, and there was very little traffic on that street, so it wasn't a big deal. But again, there may be a nap in my future this afternoon. Sun is still not up yet, but it's nice and mellow and quiet in this lot. So I got the pot on here. I'm gonna get some coffee going. And then I think we're gonna move on over to the ocean front, go down to an area called Sunset Cliffs. It's one of my favorite spots here on the coast in San Diego. So we'll get some caffeine in me and we'll do this. Okay, we're gonna move on from this parking lot here. I actually ended up laying down for a little bit and dozed off. Felt good. Feeling a little bit more refreshed now. We're gonna head over to Sunset Cliffs, Ocean Beach, California, just down the road a little ways. Looks like we're gonna have this marine layer here for most of the morning. I don't think it's gonna burn off till later this afternoon, so I don't think we're gonna see any blue skies when we get to the ocean, but still be nice to hear those waves crash. It's been a little while for me. I haven't actually come to the oceanfront beaches for quite a while. I've always just last few years just come to the bay. It's only about 9 a.m. on a weekday, so it shouldn't be too crowded. It's a little radio controlled airfield here off to the left. You can hear the little airplanes buzzing around. We are rolling into Ocean Beach, California. This is Sunset Cliffs Boulevard. I have not been down to this beach in a lot of years. Used to spend a lot of time down here. Actually, my brother used to live down here for a little bit. He worked at the People's Co-op. That's actually where he met his wife. They have both since moved on from working there, but definitely for a lot of years was coming down here very, very often. It's kind of a beach bum, if you want to say that. Sign says here on the right, Sunset Cliffs Natural Park. Along this stretch here, there are a series of public parking lots right up on the cliffs. And it's 9 a.m. This one's, looks like it's full already. So again, this is often why I don't come down here. That's the first one, so I'm sure I'll find an open spot here. These lots here are patrolled probably the most out of all the parking areas that have that no parking 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. With all these nice houses here on the right, the residents can call and complain and get a pretty quick response. So I'm going to pull in this one here. Seems to be the least populated. It's good to be back down here. So well, we made it down to the cliffs. Gosh, I used to spend a lot of time hanging out here, listening to these waves roll in, breathing in that ocean air. Great spot, even on an overcast day. Well, that's the good stuff right there. Yeah, we'll see if we can make our way over to a sandy beach here. And goodbye, Sunset Cliffs. We'll see you another time. Okay, we are coming down Newport Avenue. This is kind of the main drag here in Ocean Beach. This street makes a hard right at the shoreline. There's a big pier there. Not much has changed here. Nico's Mexican Food. That was one of my favorite places on this street. Typically would never drive down this street. It's pretty jammed up usually, but I wanted to give you guys a glimpse. It's kind of neat with the rows of palm trees on either side. Very classic California beach town look. Well, just to the right where we just passed the intersection there is Winston's, which is a bar that has live music. I used to spend a lot of time there. Monday nights they had a Grateful Dead cover band, played every Monday night. Me and my brother went to that pretty religiously for a while. Nice wagon wheels. And this bend here is where the boardwalk is, and the beach wall. We used to call the people that hang out on the wall there the walnuts. Lifeguard tower off to the left. And there is a small public parking lot here that usually fills up pretty quick. There's a spot there on the right on the street. But I usually go down the road a little bit, and this road intersects with Voltaire. That's where Dog Beach is. It's the beach where you can have your dogs off leash right at the beach. And there's usually parking there. There's actually a spot right here, but I'm going to continue on down to Dog Beach. It's pretty tough parking overnight in a van on these residential streets. You can get away with it here and there, but a lot of the residents are kind of anti-van life, anti-people living out of their vehicles around here. So they will report you, and police need to respond to those reports. That's their job. So a lot of stories of people getting knocked, told to move on, no habitation in vehicle allowed and such. I don't know how it's been recently, but that was the word last time I was spending time around here. All right, we'll check in when we get to the beach. Yeah, always plenty of parking usually over in this lot. I'm just gonna park up real quick and go take a walk down to the water. And we gotta go check some dogs out. I used to bring my dogs down here, 2 little Boston Terriers. They sure loved running around these beaches. And here we are, right at the beach. Is the Ocean Beach Pier running right there. A few surfers out there. And this would be Dog Beach here. You can come and let your dogs run free on the beach. It's a pretty fun place. It's hard to not have a smile on your face when you're hanging out here. I used to bring my dogs down here, and man, they love it. Not just playing with the other dogs, but they get their feet in this sand and it just makes them want to run, run, run. This little bulldog here. Okay, it is about time for me to move on. I need to get geared up here. I'm flying to Alaska in a few days, so it's time to start packing and get my van down to the storage place. So we're gonna wrap it up here at the beach and move on. Okay, well, I managed to get everything I need out of the van, packed in my luggage. I'm gonna be flying to Alaska here in another day. So I have brought the van down to where I'm gonna be storing it. I found a paid storage place at a reasonable rate. It's actually one I've used before. Of course, the prices have increased since then, but still pretty reasonable. So I need to get some tarps up on my solar panels. I wanna make sure those are covered so they're not getting any sun on them, and then I'm gonna disconnect all of my power system inside. I've got shut-off switches for all of that, so pretty simple. Just gonna take me a little time getting up there and getting these tarps in place. I've done this a few times before, so it's getting to be a little bit of a routine here with this Alaska job. But I'm excited and nervous at the same time. I always get a little bit of anxiety. It's just a big deal for me to leave my home behind and be away from it for a full couple months. The job is exciting, so I got that to look forward. So
yeah, I'm going to get busy. I'm going to try to get this tarp up there. I just don't want any sun shining on the panels while there's no load on them, and I definitely don't want to keep everything connected just in case there's a problem. I don't want to have a burnt down van when I come back from Alaska. So I'm going to get busy with that. All right, so I'm going to get busy with that. I've got a little bit more to share about what's on the plans when I get back from this job. Pretty exciting, but I'll tell you that here in a minute. So this is my setup for the solar panels here. I've just got these tarps doubled up, tucked under the panels real good, and then some heavy duty clips and bungees on each corner. Pretty sure that should hold up to any heavy winds so they don't blow off. And then inside, I've got everything shut down. I'll show you that. So inside here on my power setup, I have a main shut-off switch here that disconnects the batteries from all of the power setup, the inverter, charge controller, and then I have a disconnect for the solar panels as well. So both of those are shut to the off position. In this box here is where my 4 Battle-Born lithium batteries are. I've had those Battle-Borns running for over a year now, and I've just been super happy with them. I can't say enough good things about the stepping up to the Battle-Born lithium batteries. Have plenty of power all the time. They charge up super quick. Just so many benefits. A lot of people worry about them not charging or shutting down in the cold. I did a week in below 20-degree temperatures, and being inside the van and in a box there, never had an issue with them. They've just been super, super reliable. So I'd imagine when I come back here, they'll be just charged up as I left them. So I'm looking forward to getting to my job and coming back and having my home sitting here waiting for me ready. So I am just waiting on someone to come down and pick me up here. So when I get back from Alaska, it's going to be a little crazy. I'm going to have to come down here, pick up this van, get my motorcycle loaded up, and I'm going to beeline up to the northwest and meet up with Kelly. We're going to do a big motorcycle camping trip through the whole state of Washington using all back roads. It is the Washington BDR, the Washington Backroads Discovery Route. You can look it up online. It looks like it's going to be a real adventurous, fun, beautiful ride. So we're looking forward to it. I've been spending the last week or so here in San Diego getting my motorcycle geared up for that. I installed some racks and got some luggage bags and stuff. So should be able to come on back, head up there and get riding. So really looking forward to it, and just appreciate you guys being a part of this adventure.